Hi Noah. Hi Jasmine. Can you hear us? Hello.
Send them a message and check. Must be still getting online. Huh?
Hello.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me? Oops, noise is coming in. Can you hear me? Please type the answer. I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Perfect. We start.
We are rock and roll here.
All right. You can see my screen here, right?
Yes, now I can see your screen.
Perfect. Okay.
Enlarge this.
Hello Noah, this is Lena here. Let me know when I can begin.
All right, we are just getting set up. All right, what time? Okay, good to go.
Fantastic. Good morning. I think it's about 10 a.m. in Canada for all of you. It's 8:30 here in India. So we're quite fresh and excited because to share about the opportunities in the Indian market and how Canadian companies can participate in India's growth. And just before that, a few words of introduction about myself. My name is Lena Piche Thomas. I'm the director of global business in Rhodes, a company I set up about almost a decade ago with the aim of bringing innovative technologies into the Indian market. I had worked with the US government as well as Bill Clinton's climate initiative focused on the clean tech sector for the first 10 to 15 years, before then delving into areas such as information technology and biotechnology as well, focused primarily both on identifying innovation that would fit into India's specific project and business needs, as well as scaling the deployment of these technologies in the Indian market. So that's my background, and along with me is my colleague Harsha, who will also be sharing information on Indian opportunities. So I'm just going to hand over to Harsha to make a quick introduction.
Yeah, hi. My name is Harsha Lingam. I'm the COO of Global Business Inroads. I have currently I've done my master's from the US, from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, in industrial engineering, as well as another master's degree from Europe in renewable energy. And I've been working for the last 7 years on helping technology companies access the Indian market, primarily focused on Europe, US, North America, as well as now Southeast Asia. And now we're also helping a lot of Indian startups access international markets through our channel partners based out of Europe, US, and other parts of the world as well.
Super. So just the agenda for for today's discussion, we'll take you through an overview of the Indian market. We're focused on the sectors that we believe are at the forefront, in which all of you are active. And going on to that, we will focus on how GBI helps with market access into the Indian market. Then we will showcase our online portal, which is a global technology collaboration portal. And we're going to end by showcasing some concrete opportunities for tech deployment in India, specific sectors, specific corporates in India seeking technologies. And then, of course, we'll have a few minutes for question and answers that we could take. So on the introduction, what I'd like to really give you a sense of is, the size of the Indian market overall. I often see that when I travel around the world, one of the things people are not able to fathom is the enormous size of the Indian market, with a population of 1.31 billion. And most importantly, an age group of people with a very high purchasing power, which really therefore accounts for the fastest growing economy in the world today. And we also have this second largest, internet user base, 462 million internet users. And one of the recent news just from 2 days ago is that India has jumped 30 places and achieved the top 100 ranking for ease of doing business as per the World Bank. So these are some key drivers of the Indian economy, which really makes it very attractive for technology companies to participate. And in this session, we're going to try to showcase these market opportunities and some of the key government. Before we get into the real business, we'll focus on some of the government initiatives fueling growth in the different sectors. For example, in India, we have announced the Make in India mission, where the idea is to encourage both national and multinational companies to manufacture their products in India. So while you are permitted to, to invest here, there is in India for all sectors, the government is heavily incentivizing if you also make in India. For example, let us say you are manufacturing drives, or you're manufacturing certain technologies which can be assembled. The point is, can you actually source and build the product in India as well to leverage the government incentives? It's not like everybody has to make in India, but there are additional incentives. If you not only export your product to India, but also make parts of it in the country itself. So these are some of the few the sectors, the focus sectors under the Make in India. It's automobile, aviation, biotech, construction, defense, electronic systems, IT, BPM, leather, media and entertainment, mining, oil and gas. Pretty much all of the growth areas, renewable energy, railways, the wellness sector, space, pharmaceuticals, thermal power. So these are all the key thrust areas where the government is, wanting to transform India into a manufacturing hub. Moving on from Make in India, the other very, very attractive program which the government has invested billions into is the Startup India Mission. They're building a strong ecosystem for nurturing innovation and startups, and it's very encouraging. For me, who initially, I spent a lot of time both in US and North American as well as European incubators, mentoring companies that wanted to enter the Indian market. And 5 years ago, we did not have such well-equipped incubation centers in India. But today, when you come to India, you will see world-class incubator and accelerator centers that are helping not just Indian startups, but also foreign startups, soft land, partner, validate their products, do product co-development, work with corporates, investors, etc. So the ecosystem has really come full circle with heavy incentives given to startups who are, with the view to kind of encourage entrepreneurship within India and hence economic growth. Exciting enough is the US $1.54 billion fund of funds for startups, and as well as the news that SoftBank has already invested $2 billion in Indian startups and has pledged total investments of $10 billion in the next 5 to 10 years. One of the things that GBI is working on as well is the whole idea of transnational entrepreneurship, where we are encouraging startups to from one part of the world to collaborate with Indian startups and actually co-develop products for each other's markets. So this is another area actually that can be leveraged by international startups. Moving on, one of the very exciting programs, I'm sure, amongst, your group, you might have several IoT startups. And, the Digital India campaign launched in 2015 is basically a program launched by the government of India to transform and empower, society and the economy through digitalization. So whether it's broadband highways, universal access to mobile connectivity, reforms within the government, delivery of services, IoT is playing a very strong role. And if you look at it, whether it's corporates, government, SMEs in India, people are scouting for technology partnerships and opportunities to, in the IoT sector as well. And some of the key areas where IoT today is being deployed is transport, parking, electricity, waste management, water management, women's safety, smart cities, smart health services, smart manufacturing, and smart agriculture. So these are some of, I just took you through some of the key government initiatives, and I just also want to mention that India and Canada have been very, very long time partners. Politically, we share a very good relationship. We all love your Prime Minister. He is very popular. And apart from that, there are, key collaborations, in the space sector, in the railway sector, civil aviation, biotechnology, energy and infrastructure. So even the Canadian Embassy and your diplomatic offices are very active in India. They do a number of events. They have a number of missions that come here with the whole idea of getting Canadian technologies to access the Indian market. With this, I'm just going to hand over to my colleague Harsha, who will just give you an overview of the three technology sectors from a business point of view.
Yeah, thanks, Lena. Just to start off, we're looking at the medical device sector. The medical device sector is growing at 15% annually, and it's expected to reach about 25 to 30 billion by 2025. India is one of the top 20 global medical device markets. There's 100% FDI permitted for manufacturing medical devices in India. Some of the key drivers for medical device, the growth of medical devices, the government of India is really now investing in medical device clusters across India. There are about 7 clusters which they're developing now. There's a huge growing population and a very aging population as well in India. There's a huge lot of investment coming in the health insurance space as well, which is expected to reach about 20 billion in 2025, which will give access to people, more access to people to actually get better healthcare and better access to medical devices. There's a growing medical tourism market as well in India, which is set to reach about 10.6 billion in 2019. And like Neela mentioned, there's a lot of now disposable income, as well as a lot of changing, which also brings a lot of changing disease profiles in India, where there's a lot of opportunity for medical device companies in India. Another sector which kind of follows the Digital India initiative from the government of India is using the applications in healthcare. There's a lot of data which is being created, as you can imagine, because of the number of people available, and it's become a great challenge to kind of manage and use that data. So there's a lot of emphasis on data-driven research and technology as well, specifically in genomics to ease pain. There's also a lot of applications, personal diagnostics and therapy. They're looking at a lot of multi-dimensional data analytic tools as well as platforms. As you can see, the healthcare industry in India has achieved a growth of 10%, and it's expected to reach about 145 billion by 2018. The next sector is obviously manufacturing, the industrial manufacturing. There's a lot of emphasis on the industry, the 4th generation of industrial manufacturing, which is the Industry 4.0. The government has an ambitious target of, like, if you look at the Make in India program, it kind of directly relates to this, where we want to kind of increase our GDP by 25% by 2025 from the current 16% from manufacturing itself. The potential is there to touch about 1 trillion by 2025. There's a lot of focus on industrial automation, specifically in the manufacturing, packaging, assembly, and the warehousing sector. We have giants like Flipkart and Amazon now investing heavily in warehousing and looking at automation in India. The current level of digitization is only about 27%, and we're looking at getting to about 65% within the next 5 years. And just about 53% of the companies in India now are using data analytics to kind of look at in their manufacturing processes. As you can see, the automation industry in India is growing at an annual rate of about 20 to 25% year on year. So these are some of the key, let's say, Industry 4.0 sectors which companies in India are looking to kind of adopt, which is data analytics, autonomous robots, horizontal and vertical integrations, cybersecurity. IoT obviously plays a key role in this whole domain. And we are working now with a lot of corporates in India who are seeking innovations in the Industry 4.0 sector. So I'll come to some specific requirements for a client of ours later on in the presentation. Another big area is obviously clean tech in India. The FDI investments in India have been almost about 60 billion so far. The government is doing a lot to relax these norms as well. So there's a lot. I mean, the reason why I'm touching over clean tech is because there's a lot of applications for technology products as well as IoT-based products in the clean tech space in India. So I'll just come a little more in depth to those sectors as well. These are India's clean energy targets. If you can see, the total target is about 175 gigawatts of clean energy by 2022, where solar and wind will play a huge role in that pie. So the wind energy, the onshore potential is about 302 gigawatts, and the national, there's an offshore potential of almost, it's a huge national offshore potential as well, which we can leverage. It is about 7,000 kilometers of coastline, which India is privy to. We added about 5.5 gigawatts of solar power in the last year, and the target is to add another 7.7 gigawatts by next year. The rooftop solar market is also kicked off quite well in India, and we're looking at adding about 11.9 gigawatts of rooftop capacity in the next few years. Energy storage is another huge market now in India. because of the large amount of renewable energy penetration coming in, as well as a lot of decentralized systems coming online. There's a lot of opportunity for energy storage systems in India. That's about 70 gigawatts and 200 gigawatt hours of energy storage opportunity in India by 2022. And we also have, like I mentioned, a lot of emphasis on the decentralized systems, mini grids and off grids, where we see a lot of applications in the IoT to manage these mini grids and off grid systems. And we're looking at implementing about 10,000 mini grids across the country by 2021, which will require almost about 2.2 million batteries of 1.1 kilowatt hour each. This is another big initiative by the government of India, which is the smart cities, which the government of India has pledged to develop more than 100 smart cities across India. Right now, they shortlisted about 20, and with 20 projects out of this total, the total of product 60. The cost of projects of the initial 60 projects is already about 210 million USD. Some of the main, let's say, key opportunities in the smart city sector are in the ICT solutions for mobility, transport, transit management, sanitation, solid waste, e-governance, water management, smart metering for both water as well as electricity, looking at air quality and weather pollution, and even digital literacy. Just coming a little more in depth into the inclusive transport systems, the government of India again has a lot of focus on providing ITS systems in India. Some of the applications or some of the opportunities include passenger information systems, automatic fare collections, GPS-based automatic vehicle location systems, which are looking to improve the public ridership of public transport, provide better fleet management to both public and private sector, and looking at enhancing their operation efficiencies. And then coming to this transport and mobility sector, the government of India now has approved a 4.13 billion plan to look at electric vehicles. So they want to launch about 6 million electric vehicles by 2020. Even though that's a pretty, let's say, a tough milestone, but that's a step in the right direction. We're also looking at EV charging stations across all national highways by 2027. Sorry. The cold chain market in India for logistics is also projected at almost over 237 billion, which is growing year on year. And this includes a lot of opportunities for good food quality monitoring during transport, as well as GPS tracking and safety and security of these vehicles. Then the other opportunities include RFID for fleet management, as well as other things like even electronic fee collection. We're also looking at wireless smart traffic signal controllers as well in the transport and mobility sector. Another key sector is the intelligent building management systems. The market is set to reach about 1,891 million by 2016. It has reached about 8 million by 2016, and it's supposed to be, and it's set to grow by more than 11% by 2021. The key focus areas are central monitoring and control systems, which look at monitoring HVACs, cameras, lights, speakers, pretty much managing the entire facility of a building. Also looking at auto scheduling and repair of maintenance, energy efficiency and eco-friendly solutions for services, as well as for commercial, as well as government buildings. So the government of India now has also laid out a policy that every government building in India has to go green now. So that's a huge opportunity for technology deployment now in India. Yeah, so let's hand it back to Lena to give you an overview about GBI and how we can help you access the Indian market.
I hope you've enjoyed just listening to what are the opportunities. I know it seems like a lot of information, and it may surprise you to know that we've struggled to summarize this in a way that can make sense for a quick 30-minute presentation, but it can also do justice to the scale of opportunities for technology and innovation here in the Indian market. Now the question is, yes, with all of these opportunities, how can we and how have we in the past helped tech companies, set up their businesses or find distributors or license their technology to corporates and other companies in India. So as I had mentioned, GBI was set up almost a decade ago, and the idea, was that there was a lot of technology and innovation happening outside of India, and India had several problems that needed to be solved, and hence we should find a way to bring in this technology into India. So we went about creating a process that would actually help make it easier for foreign companies to access the Indian market. So essentially what we do as a firm, we're an international management consulting entity that focuses on tech transfer and project management, specifically in 3 sectors: clean tech, life sciences, and ICT. We also believe that it's very important to build ecosystems for international technology transfer, and we've worked with the US government and the European Commission to develop programs for international technology transfer and climate change mitigation in the past. So these are 2 of the primary areas that the firm has been built around. And the key services that we offer is, apart from technology transfer and commercialization, program management and ecosystem development. Once you enter the Indian market, a lot of the companies still need our support to continue managing their projects, their pilots, and their relationships in country. So we also, for the long term, support you in project management, and relationship building here in India. So far we've supported over 200 institutions, SMEs, and startups from Europe and the US. And our processes are very hands-on, and and we are also a very relationship-oriented organization, in the sense that we believe in the power of human contact. How it's important to build relationships, keep them, and also work in a structured manner, which I'm going to come to soon, to access the Indian market. Under project management consultancy, this is really what we mean. We bring projects, partners, investors, and governments together to help you access the Indian market. A couple of examples of our clients in that field is Highview Power Storage from the UK and General Microgrids in the US. In terms of program management, this is the kind of work we have done for governments, incubators, clusters, where we help, right from understanding strategic objectives to gap analysis to building strategy and eventually to implementation. And our clients in this area have been the Global Life Science Development Corporation in the US, the European Business and Innovation Network, the Carbon Disclosure Project, etc. So one of our, I'm also now going to talk about our process for technology transfer and commercialization. In that, I'm just flipping slides to talk about our technology management interface. Here, basically, I'm just going to come back to the global tech interface, because I just want to focus on what we believe is the important process for technology deployment. So the first step, I'm just going to focus on the technology management interface piece, where for international companies coming in, we help with market validation, which is market research, identifying your customers, identifying your opportunities in the market, and then building your ecosystem. Once this phase has gone off well, we actually invite you to visit the Indian market and meet those potential partners and customers. Now, what's most important about India is not just coming here and having your first set of meetings. What is important is to have somebody on the ground to consistently continue to help you even after you've built those initial relationships. So we represent your technology in India. We help you with technology indigenization. do the business analytics, strategy, business model development, help you demonstrate your technology, as well as raise funding, company incorporation, as well as government liaison. Many of our clients also decide to kind of take an office space adjacent to us in the same building, so they can work alongside us, sometimes for 12 months or 18 months or even 24 months. So this is the GBI prime process that we focus on. I'm just going back a few slides to talk about what we have done in 2 years ago. So given that we were helping foreign tech companies enter the Indian market, about 6 months ago we launched an online portal to bring together technology developers with technology scouters. So the whole idea was to create a platform for early market discovery by showcasing technology and discovering new markets. So this platform sits at the top end now of our services portfolio, where we invite technology companies looking for global market opportunities to showcase, and for free, because it's important to kind of for markets to be fully aware of what kind of technologies are available around the world. So what we have done now is integrated our online process along with the offline services. So typically for any startup or tech company that wants to access the Indian market, we offer the integrated online-offline approach for tech deployment, where you can start off with displaying and discovering your displaying your technology on GTI. The platform allows for technology scouters to connect and follow you. So then once you're ready, you can actually go on to the next stage of getting the market validation services, identification of customers, partners, tech localization, representation that I just mentioned a few minutes ago on the while describing the technology management interface that we have set up. So this is really our process, and I must tell you that we have developed this process in a very bottom-up way. It's not something that we thrust upon companies, but it's really something we built after years of experience, successes and failures, understanding what foreign tech companies need when they come to a new market, and also what the Indian market requires, and the process that's required to kind of enter a new market. So oftentimes when you look at new market entry, companies are thinking about, oh, I need to meet a bunch of partners or customers and then I'm all set. Well, it's the bad news is that it's not that easy, and the good news is that we have now built a process by which once you've had these initial first meetings, you can actually work with us to in a sustainable long-term manner to really commercialize your technology in market. So if you look at our entire process now, you talk about display, discover, develop, and deploy, and I'm going back to how the online portal sits on top of the range of services and then moves down to market validation, discovery, and deployment. So apart from the services that I just described, one of the activities that will be of great interest to you is we will be announcing on the online portal a number of tech scouting and innovation calls. We just wrapped up one earlier this year on wet waste management. We currently have one open for biomedical waste management that we will talk about in a few minutes. But you should keep a watch out to the tech scouting and innovation calls that come out from corporates and MNCs based out of India and around the world who are scouting new innovation. So I'm also now going to take a few minutes to take you through a demo of the Global Technology Interface platform to show you how simple it is to display your technology, as well as if you're a scouter of technology, then scout to kind of showcase what you're scouting for, also how you can find innovation calls and so on and so forth.
So I'll just quickly take you through a video which kind of explains better what the technology platform is all about.
Technology interface bridges gaps between technology and market access by facilitating easy approach to technology in international markets. GTI saves time and resources spent in displaying and scouting for technology and aims to scale growth. Technology deployment with focus on clean tech, life sciences, and information and communications technology sectors. Tech Displayer, Tech Scouter, connect, facilitate, identify early opportunities, open innovation. On GTI, innovators and companies showcase products as technology displayers to market and connect with technology scouters. Technology scouters can connect and follow technologies on GTI and also source new technology through innovation calls. It provides much needed opportunities for companies, startups, R&D institutions, corporates, investors, and customers to collaborate in technology, science, research, and business sectors on a global scale. GTI users also benefit from the events, webinars, latest news, and technology pitch session. Come join us to display, discover, develop, and deploy technology.
So I'll quickly just take you through the platform itself. So it's a pretty simple platform for people to kind of log in and register. We have three main types of users. One is called the Technology Scouter. These are people who are seeking technologies and innovations from different parts of the world. Technology displayers are technology providers who have a technology or a platform and they're looking for partners and customers. And a general subscriber is someone who's actually just looking to be a part of the platform, who wants to learn more about what the technologies available out there are. They can also join certain webinars as well as look at the events and articles which have been posted up on the platform itself. So I'll just quickly take you through the sign up page, which is a pretty simple form. It's just 3 pages with your name and contact details, which are not displayed on the platform itself. This is just for our reference, kind of to do a due diligence on the technology company. The next is the company details, where you just add in the details of your company, the size of your company, what kind of relations or partnerships you're seeking, the stage and development of your technology, and you can also add any documents which can be both encrypted, which are post-NDA documents, as well as open documents which are accessible to anybody, which is available on the public domain. And then you also have a place, the third tab is for the product or opportunity. You can upload as many products as you want. You have the simple description of the product name, description, the type of sector. You can upload and drag videos, various kind of multimedia content, and you can also add multiple products for your company as well. So I'll just kind of sign in as one of the users. So this is kind of the first landing page that you get. Here you have a list of all the partners that we've been working with from around the world to kind of help startups and also get access to startups. We have 3 main verticals: the clean tech, biotech, and information and communication technologies. If we'll just go into the clean tech space, you have 2 main types of users, like I mentioned. People who have products which have been displayed here. You have products from different sectors in the clean tech space. You can also search them using subsectors, and you have what are called as opportunities. So opportunities are basically people who are looking for technologies, who are seeking technologies. So one of our clients, Quest Corp, is looking for technologies in the ICT solutions for mobility and mainly in the smart city space. One of the key requirements is automatic meter reading and advanced meter reading infrastructures. Just going back, I'll also show you, this is another client of ours who's Bluerise. So they have an ocean thermal technology. So if you can look, you can add pictures as well as videos here. So a description about your technology. And you can do one of two things. You can either connect with this technology company if you're a user on the platform, or you can also follow them. So if they make any additions or any changes to their technology current status, you can kind of get an update on that over here. You also, when you click on connect, a two-way messaging board opens up between you and the technology provider. As you can see, there's no contact details provided here, so the only way of contacting someone is through this connect and this two-way messaging board, which has been provided. So you can get access to that messaging board here, where you can edit your technology profile as well. So this is the messaging board which opens up between you and the technology provider. And so similarly with the opportunity provider as well, you can connect with them to kind of, if you have a particular technology which would fit their requirements, you can connect with them and offer your services to them. As I mentioned, you also have documents here which you can upload, which can be accessed and downloaded by the users as well. So that's kind of a brief overview of GTI. It's a pretty simple platform which is connecting technology providers with people who are seeking technologies from around the world. So
yeah, now to the most exciting part in terms of real business for tech companies in India, the project opportunities. One of the things GBI is very proud of is that we are constantly identifying real project opportunities in India that we could connect international technologies to, and here are some live opportunities that you can leverage. If you are a biomedical waste management solution company, I think we are, we have a very big opportunity in terms of an Indian corporate that manages about 25 hospitals and growing and wants to bring in a new, innovative best practice in terms of managing hospital waste, all types of hospital waste here in India. India has a very strong policy for hospital waste management, but we believe that the actual processes and technology solutions, can be better, and that is why this corporate now would be willing to either license, enter into a JV, or invest in a biomedical waste technology solution company that would like to enter the Indian market. If you're interested in leveraging this opportunity, you can submit your application on the Global Technology Interface portal in the Innovation Call section. The deadline for submission is December 15th. Moving on, there are very specific opportunities in the Industry 4.0 and smart grid area. We are looking for, within the industrial sector, any technology intervention that will improve the operational efficiencies of an industry, whether it's energy, productivity, material handling, reduced rate of rejection, improved asset utilization, any technology that can improve the operational efficiency and hence create huge cost savings for industries. Secondly, in the energy area, focused on transmission and distribution, there is a huge focus on reducing losses in transmission and distribution. In fact, if any of you have a technology to reduce power theft, this is an area that we have a very immediate business opportunity for a collaboration. Apart from that, improving collections and performance in T&D networks, automatic meter reading, these are of great interest to our client. In smart cities, these are all the areas in which we are looking for technologies: mobility, transport, transit, management, connectivity, sanitation, solid waste management, water management solutions, leak detection, 24/7 water supply, monitoring and surveillance systems, air quality, pollution monitoring systems, and city management centers, emergency response, disaster management. These are all the technology interventions that we are seeking. I'm giving you an example of a smart city project in one of the regions in India. This is a state called Karnataka with a population of about 5 million, and that generates about 210 tons per day of solid waste, and the total water supply, to the city is about 90 million liters per day. So the city in concern over here requires improved public transport. So we're looking for ITS solutions, 24/7 water solutions, improving energy efficiency and uninterrupted power supply. So if you have technologies in this area, we can connect you to a company that's actually building out the smart city project for this particular city. Similarly, there's a project in another state that focuses on technologies for integrated traffic management systems, smart metering for non-revenue water reduction, digitalization, waste management. Now, significantly, we have two very interesting opportunities. One is for energy storage. For the commercial and industrial sector in India, we have a client that's already deploying solar, and they want to integrate energy storage that will help displace diesel with specific models for the commercial and industrial sector. We're looking for smart battery technologies that can be used in vehicles, whether it's 2, 3, and 4-wheelers. We're looking for battery management systems. And this is, and to also illustrate, that one of the states in India has a very strong electric vehicle and energy storage policy, attracting investments of, about 4 billion, and looking at setting up EV manufacturing zones. The national government of India also has, a very strong EV policy, as Harsha alluded to just earlier, where by 2030 we want to convert all vehicles to electric vehicles in India. So that's about the concrete opportunities, and I thank you all for your patience. I know this has been a very long presentation, but I hope it's been useful for you, and I just wanted to hand over to Noah if there are any questions from your side.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the presentation. Are there any questions? Anybody have any questions? Not for. Just out of curiosity, are there any opportunities regarding, like, if anybody wants to speak to you further or wants to to investigate how to connect with the Indian market, can I connect them with you directly?
Absolutely. You have our emails, and plus we've displayed the emails and contact numbers on the slide. We absolutely would be more than happy to connect with you directly.
Perfect. And there's. Yep. Will we have access to the PowerPoint presentation? Will we be able to share that with everybody?
Yes, we could share that with you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we really appreciate your time for taking the time to present all the opportunities in India. I think definitely was eye-opening for some of the businesses here. We will definitely be in touch because I think there's more than a few companies here who there are some great opportunities to connect with you, and we look forward to future collaborations.
Fantastic. Thank you. It's been a pleasure as well. I just wish we could see each other, and with modern technology literally in the way, that's the only thing I'm missing from this morning or this evening's presentation. But I look forward to meeting many of you, in the near future. Thank you very much.
Well, maybe we can actually look at doing a potential mission to India to investigate opportunities with some of the companies. That's something that we can pick up as a conversation in the next few weeks.
Absolutely, that'll be great. It would be fantastic to work with you on something like that.
Amazing. We'd be thrilled. So thank you very much, and have a great evening.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.